hành trình ở nhà xứ trở về. Đây là thành phố.
A devastating storm and ensuing flood have brought unprecedented chaos to Quang Nam province in central Vietnam, inflicting a heavy toll on its people, infrastructure, and invaluable cultural heritage. Triggered by a powerful typhoon that made landfall early this week, the disaster has submerged thousands of homes, isolated entire communities, and resulted in tragic loss of life and widespread destruction. The ancient town of Hoi An, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is among the hardest hit, with its historic streets and buildings submerged under rapidly rising floodwaters, while mountainous districts grapple with deadly landslides. The meteorological onslaught began with Typhoon Fengshan, which barreled across the East Sea, gathering strength before making landfall along the central coast. Although the storm's core winds caused significant damage, the more severe and lasting impact has been the relentless deluge of rain it unleashed. Rainfall measurements in some mountainous areas of Quang Nam, including the districts of Nam Tra Mai and Phuc Sun, have exceeded 600 millimeters in a 24-hour period, a volume that overwhelmed river systems and triggered flash floods. The Vu Gia Thursday Bon River system, which flows through Quang Nam, saw water levels surge to catastrophic highs, with forecasts indicating peaks well above alarming levels. The flooding has affected almost every district within Quang Nam, but the damage has been most severe in low-lying and mountainous regions. The ancient town of Hoi An, a jewel of Vietnamese tourism, has been transformed into a watery spectacle of ruin. Its cobblestone streets, vibrant lantern shops, and ancient timber-framed houses were submerged, with floodwaters reaching upper floors in many buildings. Residents and business owners, caught off guard by the swift rise, struggled to salvage their belongings. The economic fallout for this tourism-dependent town is projected to be immense, as businesses face extensive cleanup and restoration. In the province's mountainous western districts, particularly Nam Tra Mai and Phuc Sun, the relentless rains saturated the soil, leading to multiple large-scale landslides. Rescue teams, in coordination with military units, have been battling treacherous conditions to reach isolated villages where dozens were feared buried under mud and debris. The landslides have not only caused tragic loss of life, but also severed vital transport links, hampering initial rescue and relief efforts. The Vietnamese government, along with provincial authorities and the military, has mobilized a large-scale emergency response. Before the storm's full force was felt, thousands of residents from high-risk coastal and riverine areas were evacuated to designated safe shelters. However, the sheer speed of the flooding meant many others were caught unprepared, necessitating urgent water-based rescues. Military Region 5, which oversees central Vietnam, has deployed soldiers and equipment to assist with search and rescue in the most inaccessible areas. Efforts are focused on delivering food, clean water, and medical supplies to isolated communities. The destruction of roads and bridges by both floodwaters and landslides has created significant logistical hurdles for relief operations. In some cases, helicopters have been deployed to airdrop supplies to stranded communities. As floodwaters slowly begin to recede in some areas, the full extent of the damage is becoming clearer. The focus is now shifting to the long and difficult road to recovery. The Ministry of Construction is tasked with repairing and rebuilding damaged roads and bridges to restore connectivity and allow for normal life to resume. Authorities are prioritizing public health, with emergency efforts focused on environmental sanitation, disinfection, and preventing the outbreak of waterborne diseases. Following previous devastating floods in central Vietnam, the international community has provided aid for recovery. Organizations such as the IFRC and UNDP have a history of supporting Quang Nam and other provinces in building more resilient infrastructure and providing emergency relief. Amidst the devastation, stories of human resilience and neighborly solidarity have emerged. Local residents, emergency responders, and volunteers have been working tirelessly, often at great personal risk, to help those in need. While the path ahead is daunting, the unity of the community, backed by national and international support, will be crucial in restoring Quang Nam to its former glory. The historic city of Hue in central Vietnam is grappling with the aftermath of one of the most severe storm and flood events in its recent history. A combination of relentless, record-breaking rainfall, a powerful storm surge, and extensive river overflow has plunged the entire city into a state of emergency. The disaster has paralyzed infrastructure, submerged thousands of homes, and triggered massive, life-threatening evacuation efforts. Authorities and emergency responders are now facing the daunting task of rescue, recovery, and preventing further loss of life as the city remains largely submerged. The catastrophic event was the result of a confluence of extreme weather phenomena. Meteorologists point to a potent combination of a tropical convergence zone, strong easterly winds, and cold air masses, which created an unusual pattern of prolonged, heavy rain. This was further exacerbated by the impact of recent tropical depressions, overwhelming the region's river systems. For days, the Hue Tien Hue province has been battered by non-stop torrential downpours. In some areas, rainfall totals have exceeded 1,300 millimeters, a staggering amount that shattered previous historical records. This was compounded by rising floodwaters released from upstream reservoirs, which were already filled to capacity by the incessant rain. The Hung River, Perfume River, the Bo River, and the O Lao River all saw their water levels swell to alarming and unprecedented heights, leading to widespread flooding in low-lying and urban areas. The heart of Hue City, a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its imperial citadel and serene beauty, has been transformed into a desperate scene of disaster. Historic streets are unrecognizable, with floodwaters reaching several meters deep in some places. Thousands of houses across multiple communes and wards have been flooded, with water often reaching the upper floors of buildings. Residents, many caught off guard by the rapid rise of the water, frantically moved their belongings to higher ground or sought refuge on rooftops. The flood's fury has also taken a heavy toll on the city's infrastructure. Bridges have been swept away or severely damaged, isolating entire communities. Key transportation arteries, including sections of National Highway 1A, were completely submerged and impassable, cutting off supply lines and hindering rescue efforts. In a particularly harrowing development, local hospitals were besieged by the floodwaters. Staff at the Hue Central Hospital and other medical facilities launched a frantic, life-or-death evacuation, moving thousands of patients and crucial medical equipment to higher floors as water inundated the ground levels. The true human toll of the disaster is still being assessed, but reports of tragic loss of life and widespread displacement are emerging. Mass evacuations were ordered for high-risk areas, but the speed and intensity of the flooding posed immense challenges. Many residents were rescued by boat or had to be plucked from their flooded homes by emergency teams. Heartbreaking scenes have been captured on social media, including families transporting coffins on trucks through the raging waters, highlighting the devastating personal struggles of the victims. In a testament to Vietnamese solidarity, numerous stories of heroism have emerged. A convoy of trucks on National Highway 1A famously formed a protective barrier to shield motorcyclists attempting to navigate a flooded section of the road. The Vietnamese military has deployed specialized units to assist with search and rescue operations, particularly in the hardest-to-reach areas. Authorities have been forced to balance the crucial need for flood control by discharging upstream reservoirs while communicating the risks to downstream populations. As floodwaters begin to recede in some parts of the city, attention is turning to sanitation and public health. Emergency teams are on the ground distributing supplies and clearing mud and debris. The road to recovery for Hue and the surrounding province will be long and arduous. The city must not only rebuild its physical infrastructure, but also address the immense emotional and economic impact on its residents. The frequent and increasingly severe nature of these storms and floods in central Vietnam also highlights the urgent need for long-term climate adaptation strategies and enhanced disaster preparedness to protect its people and invaluable cultural heritage. While the devastation is immense, the resilience and communal spirit of the people of Hue offer a beacon of hope for a future of rebuilding and recovery.
Thì giáp với lại xã Hòa Phước, thành phố Đà Nẵng trước đây thì đã ngập rồi.